So, Italy is still in a mess. It's not like something can change around in one day. And the most important thing was yesterday protest of the orange vests. Sorry for the originality of the name, but unfortunately, it's not something typical of the Italian people. Well, it's not like other countries have better fantasies with name. And there's someone threatening to sue General Pappalardo, former general of the Carabinieri, so should say, ex general of the Carabinieri, and they had a manifesto, an actually official website with the face of General Pappalardo, and of course the opinions of a lot of them actually I agree that others not so much, but the self-declared brother of radical chic people of Italy, which is the subreddit of Italy, by the way. Of course, they laugh about which are the most extreme content of this manifestation, which honestly it's not a bad program, to be honest. And uh, I have to say that they keep laughing about it because he has some decent programs that would actually help. The first proposition or project, a political project, includes radical reforms. The first one is revision of the constitution or of the constitutional paper with sovereignty returning fully to the Italian people, which how can you disagree with that? And they want to rewrite the first article of the constitution. Italy is a federal republic based on six confederate states, by the way, not confederate in the same thing, confederate versus union that you guys have in the United States. The sovereignty belongs to the people, and it can't be limited. There, there should be fixed norms exclusively to make it more doable, more quick. Its exercise. The Italian people, popoli italici or Italic peoples, because some people actually say that Italy is a conglomerate of different people, which is kind of true. The Sardinians are very different from the Ligurians. The Campanians are very different from people from Tuscany, and I could go on, but I won't. Abolition then of the 75 Article of the Constitution, in which they prohibit the authorization from the sovereign people with a referendum on international treaties. I mean, unfortunately, that article limits us on what we can do a referendum. It was a byproduct of the fact that we lost that war. Honestly, thankfully, we lost that war in a sense. We lost much less than Germany and Japan combined. Well, Japan lost only South Sakhalin and the Kuril Islands of its official national territory. Germany lost much more. Restructuring then of the Article 49 of the Constitution. The citizen will determine the national politic through spontaneous popular movements if seen by democratic statutes, I think, yes, have to be financed from the state from the beginning of their political activity to a better adherence and alternance between of the government of the republic. Rigorous discipline of the parties which I must have democratic status, and also the Bank of Italy, which has to be controlled by the parliament. Again, why it's a bad thing? I mean, as a former Maoist, I like this kind of thing. I'm a former leftist before I realized what actually Maoism, Stalinism, and even Leninism, to a much lesser degree, are. I mean, there's still people who like communism somehow nowadays. I can understand the Russians, but all of the people who like communism, yeah, I don't understand that much. Then, exit from the European, from Europe, and from Euro, and return to the national monetary system, to which again, it's an argument that's been around in the last year and a half. Like we have seen how Europe treats us because Germany is in control and they conquered Italy without a shot, which is clear as day, clear as day. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't think it's doable in the near future, but it's a good. Then a referendum about the constitution. This one is actually written a bit badly, which I don't understand. Referendum for for a constitution of a confederated republic su sei stati, and then there's Sardinia for some reason. Direct election of the head of state and of the head of the government. Popular election of the members of the constitutional assembly, of the constitutional court, sorry. Institution of an only one instead of having a bicameral system, it will be an unicameral system. So with a Congress of the People, the elimination of the Senate and senators for life. Yes, in Italy they actually exist, senators for life. Meanwhile, in the United States, you have to kind of be elected to be for life, so to speak. Cutting the salary of parliamentarians and of the general directors of the state, magistrates, judiciary included, with a maximum of 5,000 euros. I guess for months and not for a year. That would be insane. I agree with this. Even with taxes, 5,000 euros are a lot of money. You can live comfortably if you know how to use it well. Revision of the parliamentarians' pensions, who have to be attributed with the same criteria of the public workers. Then, reorganization of the judiciary. Again, this is completely okay. Reorganizations of the police force on two police of general character, distinct for territory and subject. This is not about the preposition. Organizations of the armed forces, again, where is this wrong, about 30,000 servicemen enlisted and trained, no, sorry, just trained for the national defense of the territory, using the guerrilla tactics, which, again, guerrilla tactics have proven successful in many countries, especially under-equipped countries such as Afghanistan, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, although those who came after those guerrilla tactics weren't exactly nice. Institution of environment territorial guard with civil ordinance, organized by the state, and complete elimination of the civil protection. Considering how the civil protection was totally ineffective and incompetent, and Mr. Arcuri still gives the fault of this incompetence to imaginary friends, despite he is all at fault, it's not a bad preposition again. Then, restructuring of the public administration and organization of the social life. This is actually a bit incomprehensible. How do you plan to organize that? Okay. Revision of the how you call it? Ah, I think the well, organizations of the agency of taxes basically and IMS. Again, good. Expulsion of all irregular foreigners, which there are quite few, not as much as France, England, Germany, but it's not exactly like there are many irregular people here who come not from Italy or from Europe that are kind of fed up. I lost count how many Egyptians, Moroccans, Senegalese, and other Africans or foreigners that in general vote for the league for the simple reason that they went to the proper channels and they're not taken care of as much as who comes here illegally, which is kind of true. Creation of the SONFI, which is an acronym for social, no, sorry, Society for National Society for Financing of Industries. Again, nothing bad about it. For the emission of guaranteed obligation, state guaranteed obligations. I don't see how this is bad. On the national market to promote development. Again, this is not bad. Creation of a free Italian bank. Well, yeah. Institution of an Italian lira, which we had one until the euro came. I don't think it's doable right now. Attribution of 1,200 lira. Again, this is not doable in the control of public spending. Control of this. Elimination of waste. Not, the one you put in the trash, but the Italian state, since the beginning, was quite wasteful with everything. Like the only thing they can do basically now is taking people's money, whether they like it or not. Revision of pension age. Again, this is good. Revision on the laws about. It's a lot of things. I think that this will be translated as informatization of the Italian nation. Defense of the Made in Italy, which some governments actually tried to do, and they were, I would say, decently successful. Then again, it's not bad. Revision of the state structure. Again, it's not bad. Suppressing of taxes, especially those regarding waste, actual waste, the one you put in the trash, the consumption of water, light and gas, and sanitary expenses or health expenses. And detassion, I think that's how you call it, detassazione. How you translate that? For all productive, they want basically to remove taxes or a lot of taxes for everyone who was a producer during this crisis for all 2020, which is not a bad idea. A lot of people propose it, but apparently the country doesn't want to do it for some mysterious and nefarious reason. Reimburse of to the industries that have credits with the Italian government by July 2020. This is, I think, it's not too well. There's a few months left only. Uh, Fight to political corruption. Again, this is not bad. I don't know that people don't. The subreddit of Italy just point out the most ridiculous things, at least those they who they think is the most ridiculous thing. There's a very complicated denial of formation of cooperative work cooperatives, well, for unpaid cooperatives. Return to collective national contracts of work with 3 months of trial, nothing bad, and successive full hiring with annexed agevolation, I think. No, that's an Italianism. Basically, we want to make it easier for people to get hired indefinitely with the state expenses, which is very complicated to do. I know that some states in the world do it, but there's different reasons why they do that. Then, when they want a construction of uh, houses of social assistance for the elimination of poverty in the national territory or the state territory, which is good. Eliminations of case famiglia and as- assistance, total assistance to children and the old. Good. Reopening of the closed houses with sanitary control by the public service and and the same fiscal treatment regarding other cities. Case chiuse or closed houses were in few words they were state-run brothels. That's simple. I'm not a client. I don't think this. I think most Italians, women and men, are indifferent to that. Some are actually clients because sexuality is a bit. No, I don't know how to explain it. It's a bit complicated here in Italy. But I know that if you go to Viale Monza or Viale Padova, you find a lot of the last letter of the LGBT community that openly sell their services. They're rarely find. If you want that kind of thing, I have no problem with that. And regarding the prostitution, well, if it's not coerced and well, they do it, they perfectly do it in the Netherlands. I don't see why we can't do it. There's of course the influence of the Pope, so that's a reason. Then they want to realize itinerary for qualified tourism with collaboration with the tourist operators formed in schools of specialization, also good. For the market of labor or work market, total revision of the fiscal system, which should have been done like 60 years ago, but then again, we are in Italy. Opening of all workplaces, opening, they want to basically make good again the zones that were affected by earthquakes. Deny of prohibition of to industries that don't have legal residence in Italy, also good. Introduction of home restaurant to diminish unemployment, good also. Total revision of education, supporting our young ones even in master courses in other countries. They want to give a good retribution to teachers with adjourned with good good school programs and actually oriented towards the working world. Full recognition of medical freedom in terms of alternative medicine as an exercise and teaching subject in universities. This is arguably something that I don't know if I could support. The faculty of choosing vaccines without impositions of any without any impositions in the full respect of the Charter of the Rights of Man. I'm one who's fully vaccinated with almost everything. Don't know if I would support that. I mean, I want to still give people a choice. I'm in partly I'm libertarian, so but this argument, if it wasn't for that everything is so suspicious, I wouldn't support it. But everything is so suspicious right now that makes me wonder who is gaining from all this money that is can be made in the health industry, because it's an industry after all. Organization for a functional system of prevention with domestic cure for children and all and the old. Again, good. They want to kickstart a research to stop cancer. Not quite doable in my opinion, but it's a good objective. Uh, Kickstarting a commission composed by actual experts, unlike those who Conte hired, unconditioned by pharmaceutical houses, companies, to stop viral epidemics, which they don't deny the problem. They don't like the fact that we have to rely on pharmaceutical companies that want to gain only money. That's their objective. Of course, like the funny thing is that now people strangely trust com- companies that otherwise they would either despise or don't trust. Then again, there's they want to kickstart also a commission for an inquiry on the existence and danger of chemical of chemtrails. Honestly, I don't think that's doable. Neither something that we should concentrate. Creation of an Italy country of peace and ecological garden with a code for the protection of environment, with the institution of extraordinary commissioner. Again, I don't see anything bad with that. Exit from ONU. Well, the United Nations organization hasn't done a very good job lately, so they kind of have my support here. Exit from NATO. Well, we should see who we join later. I don't think it's doable in the foreseeable future. They want to create a regional department for the protection of animals and plants. Well, okay, good. They want to also kickstart the construction of a linea ferroviaria alta velocità, so a high-speed railway from Rome to Palermo. Nothing bad with this. They want to kickstart also a project for unemployment. They want to have an extraordinary commissioner against the fight against eco-mafia. Good also. They want to sustain family with disabled people. Again, this is good. the one about the four guardian angels, it's well, it's a, I would say, unwise and exaggerated choice of words. Poliziotto di quartiere, neighborhood policeman, medic, ecological operator, and social assistant. 24 hours on 27. Again, this is good. Recovery of the Christian faith and the interior value of the people. I will go with the second mostly. Christian faith is not exactly popular in Italy, regardless if we are the country of the Pope, so to speak. Institution of an academy of nice arts, not bad, with in every region, with inside cities of art to realize, with salons and small apartments for artists from all over the world to prepare and specialize all young people on all artistic activities. Reminds me a bit of the Norman Kingdom of Sicily when they welcomed everybody there to teach, learn, and so on. I think actually it comes from there, but I'm not sure. Generale Pappalardo, let's see. No, sorry. Antonio Pappalardo, former general of the Carabiniers. Let's. Ah, yes, he's Sicilian, so that's why. I think the inspiration comes from that. Because, you see, so Italy was invaded multiple times by different multiple peoples. That's why some people in the south look, you know, olive oil, and people in the north look like they are actual northerners. I don't know what I look like. They call me plenty of things, Moldavian, Albanian, so on. So I'm not sure, to be frank. And not like I care. If I'm already heavily mixed myself, so who cares where our families come from? It's not like we are people who care about haplogroups and are against race mixing. In the fact that I'm actually for race mixing, it's not something that I can oppose. There's no argument opposing race mixing. Voluntary race mixing is perfectly fine. There was actually a funny example that the uh, one of the presidents of Paraguay before Mariscal Lopez, the one who basically almost sent his own country to the graveyard of history. His father, an obese predecessor, was to stop inequality. He prohibited other people from married no race. Only problem that this didn't actually help. Abolition of career certificate. I don't think it's doable right now. Creation of an office of promotion of sport in Italy. Well, sports are, yeah. There's only football I can count here. Sometimes basketball, maybe skating, beach volleyball. They promote a lot of sports here, but I don't know how much that is doable right now. Free distribution of books from young age to middle school. Like they want to support this school, the school until middle school. You just have to return the book. Basically, they give it to you, but you have to return it, which is it's a sound idea. Like I said, they have many plenty good ideas. They have few crazy ones actually, but I don't know why the subreddit of Italy it's so concentrated on the craziest ones. But again, they are the self-declared brother of tedious radical chic individuals. So it doesn't surprise me. So this is the first part actually. Bye, and see you in a few moments.